I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Rob Sanchez. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Everything is going really well over here.
Excellent.
Just closing out the workday.
Where are you right now?
I'm in New York right now.
Ooh, I just spoke to David Schreiner Khan, and he's in New York as well. Do you know him?
I definitely do, yes.
Wow.
He's a great guy.
Wow. Is he like next door to you, or I'm joking?
That's a small city, right? So.
Yeah. A small, big city. Small, big apple. Hey, well, Rob, it's again a great pleasure to connect with you. Please do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting.
I think it's probably my ability to sort of see everything come together, see the full picture of things really rapidly.
Yeah, sounds like a podcast producer. I'm just saying. I'm wondering, is that it? Do you do the podcast thing?
So I think for me, it's a bit of that, but I actually came into podcasting from business development and law. So I've just always rapidly been able to put things together, and the podcasting is more an expression of me not ever wanting that to stop.
Yeah. So who did you learn this skill from?
So there's been a lot of people who've helped me develop it, but I'm actually on the autism spectrum. So my brain just kind of automatically connects dots, sort of whether I want it or not. And so it's been a lot more for me about learning how to use it and hone it, and to make it be something helpful for myself.
Interesting. So like right now, right, are you having this podcast conversation and looking at your screen, or are you fully focused into the conversation? Are you like looking one place?
It's a little bit of both. So just to make sure I didn't lose track of what was happening and kind of lose focus, I have everything down in front of me, but I'm not looking as much as I probably should be.
No, you're good. I'm just wondering. So, all right. So you've connected it. Now, tell me about the fashion side of what you do, please.
Yeah. So I got into the fashion industry mainly because of an interest in the law behind it.
Okay.
In the U.S., it's not really protected in the same way that other industries are. And that was just fascinating. And so I ended up going to law school because of the fashion industry, spending all my time exploring it. And then after a couple of years launching an incubator and things like that, we actually decided to use a podcast as a business development tool and started that. So I've been now on mic probably 180, 190 different interviews with top people. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah. Hey, so that is Fashion is Your Business podcast, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, great stuff. It was fun listening in. Like it's so much fun listening to so many podcasts because I am focusing on podcasters, and it's really amazing the range of information that you can acquire. Like it's like having Google tapped into your earbuds, for information in a really nice packaged medium for you to understand because you're able to work while you're doing it. Right? I'm having fun. Yeah, I'm having fun. Yeah. So you've been doing this, and definitely there must be the challenges. You being what is possibly a trendsetter in the industry, right? For what you're doing in law. Why will you continue to repeat this skill?
I just love learning. It's been a huge part of me. So we actually ended up building a lot of podcasts around the fashion one, just so that we'd always have that ability to see what's coming next in business and technology. So we built MouthMedia Network to expand far beyond fashion and hit all these different verticals. And it gives me that chance to just be in that child place of hearing from others, hearing what other people think, and just constantly learning and kind of staying away from ever thinking that I know everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just becomes so much fun to hear other people.
It's a cheat, isn't it, Robert? It's like a cheat.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're guilty. Now, what's the best place for someone to connect with you and what you do, what you offer via fashion, even podcasting?
So we have MouthMediaNetwork.com, which is the site that houses, right now we have 11 shows. By next week, I think it'll be up to 13. And then you can email me directly at rob@mouthmedianetwork.com. And we're also interested in just connecting with all the podcasters out there. So feel free to reach out.
Wonderful. Well, do please tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
Every single day I read, and it's usually from multiple books. So I'll have 2, 3, 4, 5 different books available. And I have an hour to an hour and a half long commute every day. So I'm reading for that entire time. And then I also, at the end of every day, take a walk with my puppy. So those two things
A he
every
or
day.
A she?
A he.
Okay,
his name is Ralph.
Oh, there we go, Ralph. Well, I have bad images of the name Ralph. Like I remember in secondary school in Trinidad, we do secondary, right? So in secondary school, Ralph was like when you puked, right? So.
Yeah.
For
us, he came to us named. He was a rescue, and they named him Rafe Fiennes. But we didn't realize that Rafe, although it was spelled Ralph, was pronounced Rafe at the time. So we just called him Ralph, and it stuck.
Yeah. Okay. So how does it make you feel? Like when you're processing the information the way you are with multiple books on that bus, how does that make you feel?
It makes me just feel connected to everything around me. So it helps me understand the world, understand what I'm missing. Unlike a lot of people, I've had to really build my understanding of the world. So how do people smile? What does that mean? How do people interact with me? What does that mean? What is body language and so on? So from a very early age, reading was incredibly important. And I've just kept that love up. Now we're in 10 different industries with our company and building technologies and understanding everything that's around, so that reading really is important. And then the walk with my puppy is just to take that time to let what I read and experienced during the days just sink in.
Why would you suggest someone do what you're doing?
Just a second.
Sure.
For some reason, sorry.
It's okay.
There's an alarm on my phone. I don't know if you can hear it going off.
I'm actually hearing something like
a ringing type thing.
No, I think I'm hearing your chair. Like
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it shut off now.
Cool.
Sorry about that.
It's cool.
Do you want to re-ask and then we can start?
Hey, I actually love the character aspect of a conversation. So
okay.
Yeah, I would not edit this because I love it. Yeah.
So for me, life is from a place of wonderment. It's so much better if you're just constantly seeing what's out there. And right now, so much of the world is automatically filtered out for us that you have to take steps to go beyond that. So I'd suggest that people step back from that need to know and feel complete, and just be in that place of constantly wondering about things and reading for reading is one of the best ways to do that. Podcasting, of course, would be another way to just constantly have new ideas, new thoughts, new understandings flow through you.
Yeah, and let's not forget Ralph, right? Like the vent. Yeah, I love it. All right, amazing audience. We are live again with Rob Sanchez. He is the co-host, among many things, of the Fashion is Your Business podcast. You could definitely check him out at mouthmedianetwork.com, right? Rob, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Rob, what is your earliest childhood memory?
It's actually probably watching party hats from my party be swept out to sea from a storm. I grew up on the Oregon coast, and back then that's the memory that's kind of seared into my head.
Wow. How old do you think you were?
I think I was about 3 years old, like right at the end of 2, around 3. Yeah.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
It was a very early moment of profound frustration and fear. It kind of seems to be burned in as a result of that. Yeah. Just this moment that was very happy, rapidly becoming scary, intense. And I remember my mom carrying me and running. And so that was a kind of a foundational memory, I guess.
So is it like, are you having the birthday party on the beach and then the storm comes in and then the hats blow out?
Yeah, we were using the hats to build sandcastles.
Okay.
And then the waves started crashing and the wind picked up, the rain was beating down, and everything got swept out to sea.
Wow. And then you guys just ran home?
Yep.
Which was pretty close, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a couple blocks away.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Definitely.
I love the idea of the multiplicity of events that are occurring that surround one central theme, which is the pursuit of happiness, if you would. Ooh, and I think of Will Smith immediately, right? But just what happens, and at that point in time, while it was like a peak point where it was, as you said, frustration. However, over time, the way you've learned to definitely like draw from multiple things and then connect them in a way that brings an ease. So, I'm looking at like 10 hats blowing off. I'm looking at 10 books that you're reading on the bus, right? I'm just seeing like how you're preparing yourself for if that storm comes, which is that internal storm of the frustration. And then I see Ralph, right? Which is that trained vent, if you would, for such a scenario. Yeah. It's fascinating.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
I think back then it was probably Sweet Baby James by James Taylor.
Love it.
Yeah. Just the color imagery in that song just always struck really deeply.
Yeah. It's really intriguing. Like, I'm looking at your LinkedIn photos while I'm speaking to you, but you're never looking at the camera in your pictures, right? You're always in thought, it seems.
I spend a lot of time in my head. Yeah.
I know how that feels. All right. Well, Rob, we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to go pretty quickly. Are you ready?
Definitely.
Rob, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say I'm about to have a kid. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. All the
Thank
best. All the best. All right. So you are about to have a child. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
I don't.
All right. How about 3 hours a week?
Definitely.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer. Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Definitely more.
All right. After 1,001 conversations in 2016, in 3 months, Rob, I came up with a workbook. The name of it is Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And my idea is, as you dig deeper, you uncover your own unique real statement, your mission. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Rob Sanchez, what would you say that is?
I put a lot of thought into this, and I think it would be something along the lines of listen first and don't worry about what you're going to say.
Hey, I love it. Ooh, I got chills there. Rob Sanchez, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Definitely. So if you're interested in business or technology, we'd love to have you check out MouthMediaNetwork.com. And we're building a podcast app, and so we're connecting with a lot of producers. If you're interested in another way to distribute your content, you can email me at rob@mouthmedianetwork.com. And also, I just love to say I love listening to your voice and what you shared with me during this interview, and I really wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's definitely my pleasure. As my Ghanaian friend says, a pleasure I treasure. Rob Sanchez, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.